everybody, welcome to my channel and thanks for joining me. Today I am hopping on to give you hopefully some education on Angora rabbits. This isn't the video I had intended to do originally, but it's kind of where I'm at today, and it fits in with what my channel is all about. I did hesitate on sharing this because it's one of those stories that I hope has somewhat of a happy ending, but some people just don't understand the reality of raising farm animals, and things die on the farm, and that's kind of where I'm at today. Those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I have had a couple mamas, Angora rabbits. I had a German doe and a French doe that were both bred, and they were due, my German was due on Friday, and my French is actually due today. She still hasn't had her babies, but my German did. My German had her babies, so she was due Friday. She had them last night a little after 10 p.m. So this is a really cool story. It does have some sad parts to it, but again, I am going to hopefully educate some of you. I have had a lot of questions lately in regards to breeding and having babies and how to handle that. I am by no means an expert. I think even after raising Angora rabbits for 18 years, I still run into things that I learned from, and things don't always go the way we hope they go. So I bred this German mama. I actually bred her this winter, and first time mom. She is just over a year old. And so she was a first time mom, and I wasn't even sure that she was bred. There are sure ways to tell when you do breed or have a successful breed. And I have another video on that actually, where I show what it looks like for rabbits to breed and how you know that you're probably going to have babies in about 30 days. And so I wasn't even sure the first time I bred this doe that she was actually pregnant. She didn't show any signs, and her due date came and went. Rabbits are right around 30 days, give or take a day or two. And so her due date came and went, and she had not made a nest. She had not pulled any of her hair out, her fur out. And so I thought, okay, we'll try again. Well, about 4 days after her due date, she had 7 babies. And it still was pretty cold out. We are still cold. We're actually nice today here in Michigan, but it has been cold. And all 7 of them passed away. They did not make it. And so, and that happens sometimes. It's just one of those things, especially with first-time does, first-time moms. And so I gave her a couple months, and I rebred her. I only have 2 Germans right now, so I rebred her to the same male. And again, I was not positive that they bred. There was just no outward signs of them actually breeding. I did leave them together for a couple hours, and that was about a month ago. And so she was due Friday, and she was building a nest this time just with hay and a little bit of her fiber. When they get ready to have their babies, they pull a ton of their fiber out, their belly fiber and stuff. And typically I don't groom them before they have babies or anything, because they will pull most of their belly fiber out to make their nest. And so she was showing signs on Friday that she was definitely pregnant. And so I spent most of the weekend watching her. And we were at church yesterday, and then we had a family obligation. And so I was worried when I got home last night that she had them and I wasn't here, but she hadn't. She was still building her hay nest. Again, there was no fiber in it. So she had a little bit, but not a ton. And so I checked on her a couple times last night, and I went out about 10:15 last night to check on her before I went to bed. And right as I was walking in, she dropped the first baby, which in 18 years, I have never seen any of my babies born, ever. So I turned around and ran back into the house. I'm going to play So you're forewarned. I am going to play a clip of the birth because I did get it on video. Hey, it's okay, Mama. Oh, good Mama. Good Mama. Oh, come on, okay. Come on, okay. Good Mama. Good Mama. I chugged back into the house and ran back out to the barn, and I got the last of the babies coming out. And so probably from start to finish, it was 30 seconds to a minute, maybe. And she had 7 more babies last night. So I got her arranged, and I got the babies onto into the box, and I did put a towel down because it was a little bit chilly last night, and I heated up the barn just slightly. We have like heaters that we can warm it up if we need to. So I heated up the barn slightly, and I sat out there with her for probably 45 minutes to an hour, and she seemed to be doing just fine. The babies were all in their nest. I did put some fiber in with them because she never did really pull too much out. She didn't make the nest that she should have made. And so about 11 o'clock, I came in the house and went to bed. And shortly after 12, about 12:30, I got up to go out and check them. And they were all out in her cage, spread out, and they were all cold, and they were all lifeless. And I thought, oh no, I lost them all again. But something stuck in my head. I had seen a video last week on someone resuscitating a baby goat that had been born, and she put him on a heating pad, and she just held him and rubbed him, and the goat lived and survived. And so I thought, you know what, it's worth a shot. So hopefully none of the neighbors were awake at 12:30 last night, because I'm running through the yard, our side yard here, in my pajamas with muck boots on, running back and forth. And my last trip was in the house with a handful of baby rabbits that I thought had all passed away. So I got in the house, and I got my heater pad out, and I laid it down, and I put all the babies down. And as I laid one of them out, he squeaked, and I thought, no way. Sorry, I got a cat bugging my camera. And so I picked him up, and I put him on my chest like this and warmed him. And while I was doing that, I rubbed the rest of the babies. And I probably sat there for 20 minutes to a half an hour, and they all, well, 6 of the 7 came back to life, or came back to not being listless and cold. And so I got them all moving around, and I did lose one of them at that point. So I had all 6 of them. I probably sat out here for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and got them all warmed up. And I went out, and I got the nest that Mama had, and I got some more fur, and put them into a box and brought them into my laundry room here. And I left Mom out in her cage. At this point, I wasn't going to risk it. And I have done this before, where I take babies away from the moms, and I bring Mom in to feed them. That was one of the questions that I had last week, how I handled that. A lot of people may just let them, let nature take its course. And, I get that, but I really wanted this batch of babies. And so I did what I could. And so I had all 6 of them warmed up. Probably by 2, I think I went back to bed around 2. And I got up at 3:30, and they were doing fine. And then I got up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I had lost 4 more of them. I'm not sure why. I may have, so I kept the heater pad underneath the box. I didn't have it in with them, but I did put it under the box. And part of me wonders if they got too warm or, I don't know. So again, it's with animals, sometimes it's always a science experiment and there's always things to learn. Even, I mean, you just never know everything. Um, and so I had lost 4 of them. And so the 2 were still fine, and I think the one that's alive, I do have 2 alive right now. I think that might be the runt because it's awful small. So I'm hopeful that this story will turn out well in the end. I did just bring Mama in. So a little background on rabbits. They do not feed only once. Typically, they only feed their babies once a day, twice at the most. And it's very quick. So you may never see your mama feeding your rabbits. What you want to look for is that their bellies are nice and full looking, and that their skin isn't wrinkly. And those are the 2 signs. As long as you don't have that going on, or that you have a full belly and no wrinkly skin, they're probably getting fed. And so I took care of the 4 and got the 2 settled, and I brought Mama in and I sat her in my lap and I just put the babies with her. And I'm pretty sure that they drank. You can typically hear them sucking, sweet little noises. And so I got them to feed at 6 o'clock this morning, and I just brought them in again. I brought her in again and I sat her on the ground in our laundry. We just have a small little laundry room. I sat her down and I put the babies under her and I could hear them sucking. So I'm probably going to do that. I will probably feed them or try to feed them about 3 times a day the next few days at least. And then I'll probably go to just twice a day, as long as everything goes well. So I wanted to show you the babies. Again, it's not the outcome I had hoped. And, again, people might not agree that I pulled the babies and I'm trying to feed them by hand. And, it's, in my opinion, it's you do you kind of thing. When I first started this, and I've talked about this a lot, I've got fiber everywhere today. I talk about this a lot. When I first started 18 years ago, YouTube was not a thing. All of the information that I could gather at that time was off things like blogs or articles. And there was a lot of, you do it this way and there's no other way to do this. And that's not how I live. I like to fly by the seat of my pants sometimes. And I'm not always a good rule follower. And so that's part of the reason why I wanted to have this channel, is that so I can share experiences with you, but you might do it differently. So the outcome isn't the best that it could be, but I still have 2 babies. And, at 12:30 last night or 12:30 this morning, I'm working on very little sleep too. So I probably have about 3 hours of sleep since this last night. But at 12:30 last night, when I went out to check on her and they were all cold and lifeless, I could have just put them in a box and been done with them, and that I wouldn't have known any better. But I thought it was really cool that I did get them to come back to, at least where I've got 2 of them. So, and it looks like I have 2 different colors, which is really sweet. The mom and the dad, these are both German, and they are a chestnut color. And so, and this is the box. I just have a small little box from Amazon, of course. And I have a little towel in here to lay them on, just a rag towel. And then I have her fur. So this is the wee little one. Let's see, what's a good view? There's the littlest one, and he looks like, or he or she look like they're gonna be the color of mom and dad, is my guess, but it's hard to tell. And again, he's really small, so I'm gonna feed them probably at least 1 more time today to make sure that they're getting their bellies full. And then this one's a dark one, so I'm not quite sure, and he is a little bit bigger. So, and these guys aren't even 24 hours old. They were born 10 p.m. last night, right thereabouts. So, there they are. And I will keep you posted, either, good or bad. I will keep you posted. I think they're going to do okay. I have hopes that they will do okay. But again, that is life on the farm. When you raise, animals, especially livestock type animals, chickens or rabbits or anything like that, there will be death sometimes because things die on the farm. And that's the reality of doing this. So I hope that answers some questions and gives you a little glimpse on what having baby rabbits might look like. If I can answer any more questions, I will be glad to. I try to be honest and open here, and hopefully people will be nice about that. But yeah, so if you have any questions, put them down below. Again, if you like this video, click the like button. I hope you are able to create something today. I'm going to go take a quick little power nap, I think, because I have a ton of stuff to do yet tonight. And I'm going to try to catch up just a little bit. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.